Hey everybody, this is the video that I thought I would have a little more time before I had to post. But from the very beginning, I said that this would be kind of an unedited look about what life is like here. And so in a lot of these videos, I was a little bit concerned that we would look kind of like idiots. And this has happened sooner than I would have liked. But here we are. So let me go back a few weeks. The polar vortex hit, it hit everywhere in the country, but when it hit here, we had negative 25-degree temperatures. Our house is heated by liquid propane. And again, Patrick and I are pretty much city dwellers. We're used to public utilities and those kinds of things, but we haven't really had a problem with liquid propane so far. The way that it works is that we have a big tank in the yard. It's about 40 feet from the house, right next to the medium barn. So we rent the tank from a co-op. And because it's rented from them, they're the only people who can fill it. And they're only in our area on Tuesdays. So when we're running low, we have to time it in such a way where we're going to have it filled specifically on a Tuesday. Patrick and I made a decision a while ago that we were going to be very frugal this year. We're going to keep the heat down low. And we were delighted to find that we were going through propane very slowly, that we were saving so much money by keeping the heat low and being careful about it, that it's just going down like a little bit at a time, and we're just astonished at how long the tank's lasting. So it starts to get a little bit colder, pre-polar vortex, and we are noticing that all of a sudden the gauge starts to drop precipitously. That all of a sudden, we're suddenly down to 10%. This is days before the polar vortex hit. So we end up having to call them for an emergency fill, which costs us, if they come out not on a Tuesday, if we have to do an emergency fill, there's a $250 charge to get the truck out. So any kind of savings we had instantly wiped out. And it's the embarrassing factor of having to call them and say, well, we got it wrong, we misjudged. And it's just another one of those things that make, I think, both of us feel like stupid, like we're the stupid city gays who moved in. So anyway, we call them and they come out. But it's going to be about 24 hours before they can come out, even for the emergency fill. So we turn the heat all the way down, and then polar vortex hits. It's super cold, and we're still burning through propane really quickly. So about 12 hours before they were due to get here, we make the executive decision to turn the heat off. Because you don't want it on empty, because then you risk having stuff get in your lines, and there's an additional charge to make sure that your lines are clean, leading to the house and whatnot. So we end up turning the heat off. The house that night eventually gets down to about 38 degrees. We're worried about pipes freezing and that kind of stuff, so we leave a couple of faucets on, do a little research online, find out that it's actually pipes freezing isn't like so big a risk. The fact that we're built into the side of a hill keeps it from getting below freezing. That helped a little bit, I think, but it's 38 degrees. We're locked in a small room. Luckily, we have a space heater, so that helped a little. I've never worn so many clothes in bed in my life. I have 3 layers: long underwear, fleece pant, like a hoodie, So, and we're kind of locked in this room under tons of blankets and layers of clothes, talking about how stupid we feel, which is not a great way to spend an evening. I don't recommend it. But we made it through it just fine. They filled the tank, and it worked out kind of fine in the end. But I'm hoping this is, fingers crossed, this is the kind of mistake that only ever happens once. So we are going to be super careful about getting the tank filled. There you go. So not proud. Not proud. So, okay, to cleanse your palate from our idiocy, let's talk about the things this week that are Ginger Snap approved, stuff that we're really into. First off is the Twisted Hippo Tap Room in Chicago. This is owned and operated by very good friends of ours who are absolutely lovely people, Carl and Marilee Rutherford. and this place is amazing. They brew their own beer, which is absolutely delicious. And when I was there last, I had the cheese curds, way better than any curds I've ever had in Wisconsin. And we're the dairy state. Next up is this DIY globe hanging light fixture that I found on Pinterest that I'm completely obsessed with. I talked about this on ThriftyCast for those of you who are listeners, and I am smitten with this, and I'm in the process of collecting globes from thrift stores to try to do something like this. I hope it turns out even remotely this good because I'm obsessed. Number 3 on this list is choir, choir, choir. This is one of those things where I'm kind of worried that everybody knows about this but me. But I just stumbled across it. My friend Kathleen, a co-host of ThriftyCast, was up here and we were looking around on YouTube and stumbled across these videos. There are a couple guys, they're based in Toronto, and they get people together in a bar, make arrangements of songs, and basically teach everybody in the crowd the parts to these songs. And they have these amazing videos online of a room full of people singing pop songs, classic rock songs, and I don't know why anybody didn't think of this before them. The thought of a bunch of strangers in a room singing together is just what this world needs right now, from my vantage point. Next up are soy candles from the McKenna Dell Soy Candle Company. They're based in Minnesota. They do some Wisconsin street fairs, which is how I first stumbled across them. Their candles smell absolutely incredible, and they have a lot of really kind of fun, interesting fragrances like tomato leaf and dirt and that kind of stuff. My favorite is leather. You can go to mckennadell.com online and order them, and I highly recommend especially the leather. They have another one called Old Hippie that's got like a little Nag Champa, a little patchouli in it. It's not everybody's vibe, but I love these candles. The final entry in our list this week is the book Tribe by Sebastian Junger. And this book is nonfiction, and it is about how we as human beings are designed to live in small, tightly knit communities, and that is the optimal sort of state for our mental health. Fascinating read. Had a great time with this book. So that's it for this week from Ginger Snapacres. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And I'm hoping that some of you are willing to share your own embarrassing utility stories in the comments below to help us feel a little bit better. Thanks.